After yesterday afternoon's activity, the little novices gathered to have nampana, or a refreshing drink with Phra Ajahn as usual. Nampana will relieve hunger and fatigue and boost their energy for other tasks in the evening. During the Nampana session, Phra Ajahn kindly preached to them about patience by using the heart-leaved moon seed.
But you know about another very famous one called the Borapet test. It's just do the opposite. How can you, if you take the Borapet, can you able to be patient? If you right away spitting and vomiting, I can tell right away that you'll not be very patient. You're gonna be, yeah, you can be. Because in the future you're gonna find some more difficult than the Borapet, and you're not able to convince yourself to do that. Then you're not gonna be much successful.
When they were finished, Phra Ajahn had some novices tidy up the water pavilion.
Okay, so listen up. When Ajahn Sawang ring the bell, so there will be two lucky novices who will be left behind to volunteer cleaning up things and do some sweeping. Okay, so we already picked the lucky one will be do the more volunteer work. The first one will be DJ. Second one will be Vincent, and Pratik and Trevor. Okay.
Others also provided service by sweeping the leaves around the area with Phra Ajahn. Yesterday was the 15th day of the 8th waning moon, which is a Buddhist observance day. Many people came for the evening chant at Wat Ba Sai Ngam. On one Phra, or the Buddhist observance day, Buddhists gather at the temple to donate, meditate, and listen to the Buddha's Dhamma, which are all acts of making merit in the Buddhist way. After the evening chant, Luang Ta Anek gave a sermon to the novices and the Buddhist devotees. Many moral lessons from Luang Ta Anek aim to make the listeners realize the core of learning the Dhamma.
เราจะนับถือตัวพระองค์ท่านนั้นไม่ได้แล้วเพราะพระองค์ท่านได้ล่วงลับดับขันธ์ไป 2,561 ปีแล้วพระองค์ท่านก็ไม่ได้บอกไม่ได้สอนว่าให้ถึงพระองค์ท่านให้ถึงธรรมที่พระองค์ท่านสอนเข้าใจธรรมที่พระองค์ท่านสอนท่านสอนธรรมเพื่อให้ได้บรรลุภาษาบรรลุที่ใช้กันพระองค์แสดงธรรมผู้ฟังได้บรรลุธรรมเอาใจนั่นแหละบรรลุใจรู้จักเหตุใจรู้จักผลใจเข้าใจแยกแยะชัดเจนเลยว่าได้ดวงตาเห็นธรรม เพราะศีลกับธรรมเนี่ยมันอยู่ต่อเนื่องกันศีลเป็นหม้อธรรมเป็นแก่นถ้าไม้ไม่มีแก่นมีแต่หม้อก็ไม่แข็งแรงไม่ทนทานต่อลมต่อฝนต่อแดด
After doing monastic activities with the layman, it was time to learn about the Buddha's life in the Dhamma story session. At first, Pra Ajahn narrated the story when the Buddha traveled to reunite with his father and relatives 7 years after the Enlightenment.
Yeah, he performed the miracle, so the father got very, it's very difficult to teach your father because the father always see you as a son. So you have to perform miracle. So the father is like, he must be the real Buddha. So he can start listen to the Dhamma. Okay? So if you want to teach your father, you have to do some miracle. So your father can basically listen to your Dhamma.
After meeting his father, the Buddha went to his wife and son and preached them the Dhamma. According to the Buddha's story, after they heard the Dhamma from the Buddha, Rahula asked the Buddha to have him ordained, making Rahula the first novice in Buddhism.
It's a good example. I told you before, every day Rahula will getting the pile of sand and say, today may I learn this much. So he's excel in the education, in learning. Okay. First teaching that the Buddha gave to Rahula, he gave the bucket. He showed Rahula the bucket and he said, the samana, if you not practicing truthfulness, it's like the bucket that's no water.
At the end of the session, Pra Ajahn told them the story of Mahapachapati Gotami, the first bhikkhuni or Buddhist nun. Meanwhile, some novices had many questions about bhikkhuni, since Buddhist nuns are not widely known in the present day.
She come and then she asked the Buddha to ordain. She walked all the way. I think the Buddha was in Vaisali at that time, so she asked Ananda to please ask the Buddha for me to ordain. So the Buddha denied 3 times. Okay, he said not to be letting the woman in the order because it will weaken the order. The woman needs some more rules and all those things.
When women would can we touch them?
But then Ananda changed the question. She said, okay, if the woman ordained, can she get enlightened? So then the Buddha allowed them to ordain. Okay, but then when they ordain, they have to follow the 8 Kuru Dhamma. The Buddha basically laid out the rule for them.
Being ordained with Dhamma companions gradually breaks down racial and cultural barriers and creates a picture of people from different parts of the world living together. These things have taught the novices to understand others, learn to give, and to respect differences, which are the major principles to living in harmony. A steady rain brought a refreshing day to all living creatures. The sound of the dedication of offerings chant and the morning chant filled the study hall as usual. A composed body and mind, praising and offering respect to the great favor of the Triple Gem, is considered the most auspicious benefit of the morning chant. The rain, which had been pouring down since dawn, came to a stop. Meanwhile, Phra Ajahn and the novices were about to go for alms at Ban Thung Sai Ngam. The alms round is a significant monastic activity since the time of the Buddha. The benefits of gathering alms are not only for the novices to learn about sacrifice and eliminate selfishness, but it also allows their bodies and minds to behave in a monastic way. This is a way to nurture monks and novices into learning and practicing the Dhamma and preserving Buddhism. After the alms round, the novices assisted Phra Ajahn by delicately washing his feet. Before the meal, Phra Ajahn kindly allowed the novices to relax. After relaxing for a while, Phra Ajahn had the novices practice the Kaw-Nisai chant, a tradition in the Vinaya which novices who have been ordained for less than 5 years should perform for the senior monks.
Okay, it's time for practice.
It doesn't melt the lava.
It doesn't get crushed by hand.
Come here,
Yeah, it doesn't melt the lava.
Trevor.
This is the
Tentacle missile.
the tentacle missiles in a nutshell.
Okay, everybody got a sheet?
It looks more like a Fortnite glider.
Okay, so if you do with Ajahn Kevali, there will be Acharyo, right? If you do with Longpa Liam, there will be Mahathero. Yes, Longpa Liam. Because he not teaching you at that time. He just the senior monk. So you do the Mahathero, and then with Ajahn Anek, then you do the Upachayo.
Then Phra Ajahn had the novices practice the Kaw-Nisai chant. many novices opted for a private practice session with Phra Ajahn.
You say like this, Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Acariye pamathena Acariye pamathena Thawaratayena katam.
After practicing the Koni Sai chant, Phra Ajahn asked the novices to meditate before the meal. Some of them were able to be focused and mindful. Phra Ajahn allowed the novices who excelled in meditation to receive their food before the others.
DJ and Trevor is the first time sit very nice. DJ like a Buddha Rupa. No move. DJ get ready. Now. Trevor.
After reciting the chant before their meal, the novices helped each other put away the prayer books. However, some of them got carried away, causing their saffron robes to fall, so their companions helped them to re-don the robes. Throughout the week of love, the novices have learned to value things they receive from others and to return those things with love and hospitality. This is not only what normal children should do, but it is also a way to learn how to love with morality, focus, and wisdom. These things will be instilled in them, inspiring a path to a long-term enlightenment. After breakfast, some novices who finished washing their alms bowls asked to be Phra Ajahn's helpers as they were trained. While washing the alms bowls, Phra Ajahn closely monitored the amount of water the novices used. Taking care of the requisites is another way to practice mindfulness in every step. This may be useful during the ordination and afterward. This was a pleasurable moment between Phra Ajahn and the novices to share experiences in a relaxing atmosphere separate from the Dhamma class. While the novices were relaxing before the class, Pra Ajahn gave some lessons to the novices about living with others.
A day is belong to you, but you give to your friend to play. Then you take it back. ท่านต้องเอาใจบุญต้องใจบุญให้คนอื่น You give to other people play and then you have married.
Pra Ajahn gave a sermon to remind some of the novices who lost their mindfulness and forgot to retain proper manners. Then he had them do a sitting meditation to be prepared for the upcoming lesson.
And you're still acting not like a novice. You're still acting like a little boy, some fun even like a little baby. So it's not really inspiring that much to see. I mean, of all these things that we go through, you still not basically let go of the habit that you have before. Why in the morning people anjali to you, they put the food in your bowl. What do they do? What do you do to deserve that? Are you already putting hard effort and listen carefully to Ajahn teaching? Or you basically just having a good time, eating well, sleeping well, and not listen, fighting, and say what you want to say, do what you want to do? Are these considered going along with what is meant by samana, by the samanera? So just think about that. Just do meditation for a few minutes, and they will walking over there, and then you can be basically explain the Dhamma that you learned so far. At least give us some encouragement that you learn something, not just having a good time.
While walking to the water pavilion, Pra Ajahn led the novices in a walking meditation, using a bell to control their mindfulness. In the morning's Dhamma practice session, the novices reviewed the Dhamma through the activity Dhamma from Alphabet. Pra Ajahn divided the novices into two groups. They had to explain the meaning of the words Pra Ajahn gave them, starting with the word compassion.
Okay, who know the meaning of compassion? JL?
A kind desire to want people to be free from suffering.
Oh, okay, that's exactly the definition of compassion. When you have desire or intention for some people to be relieved from suffering, that means compassion.
Then Pra Ajahn gave the initial letter L, which stands for loving kindness. Then he had each novice explain the meaning.
To be to spread the love to others, to be mindful of others, and to spread our love and kindness to other people.
Compassion and loving kindness are two of the moral principles for correct conduct toward living beings, which is called the four divine states. พระอาจารย์ explained further to prompt the novices to think of the remaining two principles, mudita or sympathetic joy, and upekkha or equanimity.
When somebody happy, what will you do to them? You feel rejoice, right?
Yes.
You feel very happy for them. Okay, that's called mudita. But if somebody happy, they are very happy, what do you feel? Yeah, you happy for them, you mudita. You call it sympathetic joy. Sympathetic. When you sympathy, you have a kind of same feeling as them. The joy that you arrive from them, like they are happy, you also happy. Because otherwise you might feel jealous, right? Some people, when your friend, maybe they answer it right, you feel jealous for them. So the opposite of jealousy is the mudita. You feel good for them. And then the last one is what? Upekkha. What's the meaning of upekkha?
Equanimity.
Equanimity. Okay, good.
Pra Ajahn asked about the cause of suffering as a way to lead to other words. The novices came up with different visions.
Because we don't have all our desires.
Oh, yes. Bin, got it right. Desire is the cause of suffering. The desire to get enlightened, the desire to be wholesome. That is the correct desire. Okay? Both desire have to be abandoned, but different way. If it unwholesome desire, like the craving for sensual pleasure, craving for existence, craving for non-existence, we have to abandon it right away. But if it like desire of practicing holy life, then we have to fulfill it.
Before the afternoon activity ended, Pra Ajahn provided the last set of words related to the monastic life.
The patient is the beauty of the samana,
Oh, I know. Beautification.
Beautification is not your face look nice, you're handsome. It's not like that. The beauty of the samana is being patient.
The lessons for the proper behavior of novices has become more intense and serious each day. Pra Ajahn closely assisted all of the novices. This method aims to train the novices to behave properly according to the monastic practice. Although time is limited, the Dhamma implanted in their hearts will help them grow to be virtuous youths. In the learning process session, the novices will learn the Dhamma under the topic of compassion has no boundary. Christopher, or Ajahn Chris, and Utit, or Ajahn Son, mountain climbers, and members of the volunteer team who joined the search for the wild boar team trapped in the Tham Luang cave, Chiang Rai province, were invited to share the story about the incident and the rescue mission with the novices. Andrew had Ajahn Chris and Ajahn Son introduce themselves.
I'm a teacher in Bangkok. Son and I are both rock climbers.
I'm working with the Sport Climbing Association of Thailand. That means we are trained rock climber to be a Thai national team, and we send them for competition.
Even though the novices had previously heard the news from Pra Ajahn, as mobile phones, TV, and radio are prohibited, they did not get updated information about the difficulties and struggles during the rescue mission. The novices also had no idea about the power of kindness from Thai and foreign volunteers who traveled across the world to join the rescue operation. Andrew started the lesson by asking the novices what they knew about the incident. They could answer only what they had heard from Pra Ajahn.
What happened in Chiang Rai in the last 2 weeks? Yes, novice Jaden.
There were 12 kids and one coach stuck in a cave because they wanted to explore it.
And what happened in the end? Yes, novice Benno.
They ended up getting caught, and the team's name was Mupa.
How did they get out of the camp? Yes, novice DJ.
I think the team went diving and looking for them deep in the cave.
Yeah, but how did they get out? Yes, Bin Bin.
One person died while helping them.
Then Andrew asked Ajahn Chris and Ajahn Son about how they came to participate in the rescue of these boys.
They needed people who could climb up the mountain. And then, so that was when they asked for help. So they said, okay, we are calling all rock climbers. If you are able to help, then do so. And so P-Son and I decided, okay, let's do this. And let's go climb the mountain.
What was your responsibility? What did you have to do?
We were greeted by some military officers, and they said, okay, so you guys are ready? Pack your stuff, like prepare your things, make sure that you have water, and let's go see those cracks.
Ajahn Chris and Ajahn Son explained how the wild boar team traveled into the cave, as well as the geographical and geological features of Tham Luang Cave.
They come deeper and deeper, deeper.
They went in too deep, like just
past this part, but by this part is not in the water yet.
6.5
kilometers.
Yes, it takes a while.
While the instructors were explaining, the novices had lots of questions to ask them.
Why did the water still there? Why they don't dry?
Why is it not? Ooh, good question.
Very good question.
Very good question. Because as you know, it's the start of the monsoon season in Thailand, which means that every day, every single day that we were up there, it didn't stop raining. It was constantly raining, like every day for 2-3 hours. And if it rains for just even like an hour, water goes up really high. And so all the water was coming down and it was just going into that cave. So that is the reason why, even though they tried pumping water out, there was like, they didn't really know where water was coming in. DJ?
How did all that water pass that crack?
When as water entered the cave, right? So water just kept going up and up and up and up, eventually blocking all the passageways.
Why didn't they go out from the back?
Because to the very end of the cave, we're looking at another maybe 6 kilometers.
Oh.
It's very long. It is very, very long. And no one really knows what is at the very end of the cave.
After that, Ajahn Chris explained the plans, the preparations, the atmosphere, and the difficulties of the operation to the novices.
That is the gear that we had to bring, and that we had to carry. So it was roughly 40 kilograms, close to 40 kilograms, and we had to carry that on our backs while walking through Jurassic World. So we had to walk roughly how many kilometers? Around 2 kilometers into Jurassic World. And as you could see, there's always like rain clouds.
Yeah.
So every day it was raining. And so you can just imagine why it was so difficult for the divers and for the experts to get into, like, to find the kids, to get into the kids, because water just kept going into the cave.
Then Ajahn Chris let the novices think about their own skills and how they could use them to help others, such as in this situation, by drawing in their notebooks. After the novices finished drawing, each of them presented their work.
This is the mountain and this is the rocks. The dots are the rocks. I'm good at running and swimming. When you have, the light on your head, and when you have it on and time is running out, so you can just run quickly to the entrance back out.
I'm very good at communicating and planning, so I can go on TV and make documentaries, calling help from the world to help save these children, and I could plan out ways to get into the cave. Yeah, and here's documentaries, and here's on TV and photographs, stuff like that to be on news.
Good at programming and using codes, and also I'm very good at flying drones and using machines. So if anything would have to be explored but it's too dangerous for people to go in, we can use machines to go in instead.
I'm good at going through the forest and all the bushes and all the other things because sometimes I go frog hunting, and I'm good at diving. So that's me with the headlamp on, and this is me practicing going through the water and practice going through holes and all the other things.
Then Ajahn Chris and Ajahn Son demonstrated how to use climbing equipment to the novices. Pra Ajahn had the novices thank Ajahn Chris and Ajahn Son for sharing their knowledge and experiences with them.
So I would like to say thank you for coming to teach us about the cave and explain about us of what you did. It was a good thing that you helped the kids. It was kindness of you, and it was very interesting learning with you guys, and it was I know a lot more things about the cave and what is the place is called and where did they found them, and also what jobs everybody have.
Anshu invited the novices to do a sitting meditation. Meanwhile, Pra Ajahn told them about the current natural disasters that are occurring.
There are a couple of tragics. We lost numbers of people. We lost Dasaman, who volunteered and sacrificed himself to help 12 kids and one coach trapped in the cave. So we lost 200 people because of heavy rains in Japan, which have resulted floods, landsliding, and disease outbreaks. We also lost numbers of people with boat sinking in storm in Phuket. People from corners around the world send many helps, loving kindness, and compassion for those dead and lost people. What we can do as novices is to dedicate merits from our practicing in Sila training, concentration training, wisdom training to them, in full of hope that every being may be free from sufferings. So keep on a bit for a few minutes to focus on your breathing in and out.
Before the class ended, พระอาจารย์ had novice JL lead the chant blessing the two instructors who came to share their experiences today.
Mani shoti raso yatha sabhitiyo vivachantu sakaroko vinasatu.
The lessons that the novices learnt this afternoon made them realize the importance of doing their best to help others. Today's lesson will gradually make its way into the novices' hearts, and in the future they will become adults who are full of compassion and kindness.